Hello and welcome to another X-Ray Tech video. Today we're going to be talking about emojis inside of your operational database. Now, if you're using Airtable and Zapier, you've noticed there's an amazing amount of things that you can do tying these two applications together. But there's one thing that's missing, and that is field status or field type inside of Zapier. Now, putting emojis inside of the column name for your Airtable will allow you to see the column type or even the column purpose inside of Zapier. Let's get into it. So today I'm going to start with the website contact form, and we're going to be using this website contact form in populating Airtable with this. And you'll see that I have 3 different emojis in here. We have a full name with a do not enter sign. You have first name, last name, job title, and email address with a robot, and notes with your hands. So when we go into Zapier here, you're actually able to see inside of the action the name of all these columns with the emoji. Now, the reason that we put a couple of these different emojis in here, like the do not enter sign inside of the full name, is because regardless of what we actually put in here, Airtable will not accept that value. And the reason for that is because it's a formula field. So formula fields in Airtable do not allow you to push data into it, right? It doesn't make sense like that. A formula is making something new or concatenating, two other fields inside of the Airtable base. So it wouldn't make sense, right, for Zapier to be able to insert a value inside of a formula field. But without emojis, there's really no way to know that. So as you are building a system between Google Forms and Airtable and Zapier, or if you're using Airtable and Zapier, really that's the core purpose here, is the emojis as the column titles will allow you to understand where do I put information and where do I not put information. So let's go through this super simple example. It's a website contact form with a simple Google form, and we'll just put some mock data in here. So we're gonna say this is gonna be Don, and Don's last name is gonna be Cameron, and the job title is going to be the boss, and his email address is don@theboss.com, we'll say, right? And we'll just pop that in there. Great, we just submitted that form. Now we'll go over to our Zapier account and look at this test trigger, and we're actually going to hit load more here so we can get the right information. So here's Don Cameron. And we're gonna continue here. Now we're gonna create this record inside of Airtable. So when we go into Airtable, you see all of these different fields, and first name will be first name, last name will be last name, job title will be job title, and email address will be the email address, right? Now, just for experiment purposes here, let's actually say we'll put Don's full name as the best, right? We'll say Don is the best. Say we just wanted to insert that information here. And we'll hit continue, leaving notes blank for now. So we'll hit test, and we actually get an unknown field name. What is that about? So if you get an error like this, I'm really happy actually that we just hit this error. So if you get an error like this where you get an unknown field name, this is because the field name might have changed since the last time that you reloaded this Airtable step. So even though inside of our Airtable, all of these are the same names, right before I recorded this tutorial, I actually switched these. We had first name as the first column, and then full name as one of the attribute columns. So I just flipped that here. So now what we need to do inside of this step is just click on refresh fields. And there we go. So the fields are actually still named the same, they're just in different order here. So I'm gonna take Don out of the top. We're gonna call him the best. And then last name still there, and first name's down here, and we'll put Don right there. So let's test this out again. So when we test this, it says it was successful. Now notice that the full name is now concatenated as Don Cameron, and the data called the best is now gone, right? It didn't actually go into Airtable. Don Cameron, the boss, right here, but there is no the best, phrase in here. Now, again, that's because this is a formula field, and that's why we put a do not enter emoji inside of the full name, because that's not the way that the Airtable is built. So this data doesn't matter. We could put literally whatever we want here. Nothing is going to show up. It's just the way it is. That's how formulas work. So we can come in here and test this again, just for curiosity here. We retest, and then boom, again, full name is Don Cameron, and that's because of the first name and last name, and our formula inside of Airtable right here, just so you can see it. It's just a simple name and quotes with a space, and that's just giving the space between the first name and the last name, and then the last name column. So that's how we're able to get this concatenated information here, and that's why emojis are so important inside of your column names, because it will help whoever's building the automations inside of Zapier know whether or not this field is a field that you can push data into, or is a field that the robots should update. Maybe this notes field is actually telling you that this is a manual entry, right? You're actually updating notes about this person, or updating this record in a manual way. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. It's always good to put emojis on your column headers in Airtable. It just makes life a whole lot easier when you're managing a big automated infrastructure. So as always, links and resources are in the description, and don't forget, keep the flow.